Hello, everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going on a journey through the digestive system. From the moment you take a bite of your favorite meal, your body begins an extraordinary process involving specialized structures and tissues, chemical reactions, and mechanical movement, all of which are aimed at turning food into fuel. So, let's start in the mouth. When food enters the mouth, digestion starts mechanically and chemically. Your teeth grind and break the food down, and this is called mastication. Each tooth has a protective layer of enamel, which is the hardest substance in the human body. Teeth are anchored to your mandible bone by periodontal ligaments, which are made of dense, irregular connective tissues. Inside the enamel, we can find dentin, and deeper inside, we can find the pulp cavity, which houses nerves and blood vessels. The surrounding gingiva or gums protect the underlying bone and close off crevices where bacteria can cause gingivitis or periodontitis. Saliva, secreted by salivary glands, contains amylase, an enzyme that begins the chemical digestion of carbohydrates. Now the food is swallowed, and it travels down the esophagus. The esophagus is a muscular tube that uses peristalsis, which is wave-like contractions to move food to the stomach. Its lining is made up of non-keratinized stratified squamous epithelium, which is designed to resist abrasion. The upper third of the esophagus is made of skeletal muscle, which is under voluntary control. The middle third has both skeletal and smooth muscle, while the lower third is entirely smooth muscle and is controlled involuntarily. The esophageal hiatus is an opening in the diaphragm through which the esophagus passes through. If the stomach pushes up through this hiatus, it would be called a hiatal hernia, which can lead to acid reflux and even esophageal cancer. At the base of the esophagus is the cardiac sphincter, which is not a true sphincter, but it helps keep stomach contents from coming back up most of the time. Once the food enters the stomach, it's now called chyme. The stomach has three major jobs. The first of which is to store food. Secondly, would be chemical digestion. And third would be slight mechanical digestion. Specifically for chemical digestion, it would have to do with proteins, but the main focus of the stomach is to store food. The walls of the stomach have rugae, which are folds that allow for expansion. The muscularis externa has three unique layers: the oblique layer, the circular layer, and the longitudinal layer, which is inner to outer respectively. These layers churn the food in all direction. Goblet cells line the mucosa, producing mucus to protect against hydrochloric acid inside the stomach, which helps to get rid of proteins or break down proteins. Gastric pits secrete digestive enzymes and hydrochloric acid. If the mucus barrier fails, gastric ulcers can form. Eventually food passes through the pyloric sphincter into the duodenum, the first section of the small intestine. The small intestine is the MVP of digestion. It's about 20-foot long organ which handles the majority of digestion and nutrient absorption. The first part of which would be the duodenum, which receives food from the stomach. It adds bile from the liver and gallbladder via the common bile duct. The bile, which is a detergent that emulsifies fats, is also mixed with pancreatic enzymes via the pancreatic duct. Bicarbonate secreted by the pancreas neutralizes stomach acid. After the duodenum, we reach the jejunum, which is the middle section of your small intestine. Most of the digestion and absorption happens here. It comes from the Latin name jejunus, which means empty because it's often empty after death. The final part is the ileum, which is the final and longest portion, about 12 feet in most people. Some digestion continues here, and it's rich in lymph nodes, which are part of your immune system, protecting against ingested bacteria. The inner surface of the small intestine is incredibly specialized to increase surface area. It includes plicae circularis, which are circular folds, villi, which are finger-like projections, and microvilli, which are microscopic extensions of epithelial cells. Each villus contains capillaries for absorbing amino acids and sugars, and a lacteal, which is a lymphatic vessel for absorbing fats. After the small intestine, we reach the large intestine. The large intestine focuses on absorption of water, vitamins, and minerals, and the storage of feces. It starts at the ileocecal valve, and then moves through the cecum, ascending colon, transverse colon, descending colon, sigmoid colon, rectum, and then eventually ends at the anus. The appendix helps repopulate gut bacteria. However, if its opening becomes blocked, appendicitis can occur, which is due to the inflammation of the appendix. This can lead to bacterial buildup and even peritonitis if it ruptures. The colon is home to beneficial bacteria in a symbiotic relationship. They produce vitamin K, vitamin B12, and gases. Antibiotics can kill these beneficial microbes, sometimes leading to infections or the need for fecal transplants. At the end, the internal anal sphincter, which is composed of smooth muscle, and external anal sphincter, which is composed of skeletal muscle and controls defecation, would be the end of the digestion. Liver and the gallbladder is a little bit of a rewind, but these are vital accessory organs for digestion. The liver performs over 500 functions, but relevant here are bioproduction, nutrient processing, and detoxification. Blood from the digestive tract goes to the liver via the hepatic portal vein. In the liver, hepatocytes process nutrients. Kupffer cells in the hepatic sinusoids break down old red blood cells, which creates would be hemoglobin, which is then turned to bilirubin, and that is a factor of bile. Bile flows through the bile canaliculi out to the bile duct. Liver lobules are hexagon-shaped units that filter and process blood. Cirrhosis is often caused by alcohol or hepatitis and results in hepatocyte death and jaundice due to bilirubin buildup. In addition, neonatal jaundice is another condition which occurs due to hemoglobin, but for a different reason. In newborns, rapidly breaking down fetal hemoglobin, which is much stronger than the mother's, overloads the immature livers, which can cause yellowing of the skin. The gallbladder stores and concentrates bile. When needed, bile is released into the common bile duct, then into the duodenum via the sphincter of Oddi. Gallstones may block bile flow, causing pain or infection. In closing, here's a quick recap. We start at the mouth, where teeth break down food and saliva starts digestion. Then we move on to the esophagus. Peristalsis moves the food down. In the stomach, the food is stored and mixes and breaks down with the acids and enzymes. Then we move on to the small intestine, which completes digestion, absorbs nutrients, and then the large intestine, which reabsorbs water and stores the feces. Accessory organs include the liver and the gallbladder, which produce, store, and release bile. And finally, we have the anus, which eliminates waste through sphincter control. Digestion is a highly coordinated system involving specialized tissues, secretions, and muscular movements. It allows our bodies to extract energy and nutrients from food efficiently. And when any part of the system fails, it can result in significant health issues. Thank you guys for listening.